established companies and startups need people with software development skills. DevLeague offers a 12-week coding bootcamp that can change your life. They work closely with employers who offer jobs with starting salaries in the $60,000 to $100,000 per year range. If a career in technology is up your alley, you'll want to watch this next segment.
We started DevLeague because we felt that there wasn't enough developers here in Hawaii and homegrown talent. And we said, let's do something about it. I was pretty blessed by seeing the desktop publishing revolution in 1986, 87 or so back then. And then I jumped on that part of it and did a lot of computer graphic design, business cards, letterheads, get involved with surf shops, everything but the surfboard. You make all the logos, all the caps and everything else. I started 2 companies while I was in University of Hawaii here, and that's what actually brought me to Japan. I worked for a magazine there. I was a chief designer for a magazine. I worked in desktop publishing in an investment bank. But from there, I got recruited to work for an ad agency, and I was in the creative department. Essentially, I built from Asia's first online advertising agency. It was called Bates Interactive. We built some of the first websites in the world. We built the business around Nokia, Compaq, Visa, Hong Kong Tourist Association. It just was an endless line of clients. Back then in 96 to 99, 2000, there was just so much things happening on the internet, the first generation of the internet. So we were doing the programming, doing the creative, we were doing a lot of innovative stuff. So my first company got bought, and so, we had a nice ride there. I brought another company called Organic to Asia from San Francisco in 1999. We took that public in 2000. And then from there, I basically retired for a little while. And in 2006, I ended up getting recruited to work for Microsoft. And they sucked the life force out of me. But in 2007, I came back home to Hawaii because Gung Gung and Popo needed our help here. My father's still around, and both my parents are still around, but we came home to really take care of my father, who had developed some cancer. I worked with some really big companies, but I also worked with a lot of startup companies. What I found is I like really working with the startup companies, and we try to, what Jason and I are trying to do here in the startup ecosystem here in Hawaii is really build up the hustler, hacker, designer triangle. It's the ingredients for the modern internet company. If you have the hustler, and that's kind of the guy like me, if you have the hacker, and obviously that's a guy like Jason, we can build stuff and create stuff and make stuff.
My name is Jason Sewell. I'm the co-founder and curriculum developer and teaching assistant for DevLeague. I'm a software developer. I came out to Hawaii to go to UH, their ICS program, and I entered the field of programming in local company, Outrigger Hotels and Resorts. I worked my way up in their company from kind of junior developer to their senior developer role. And last year, I was looking for new opportunity, was ready to move on. I really enjoyed being around software developers and mentoring people, and so in looking at what opportunity that was out there for people in my field, and the shortage of people in my field, I wanted to start something to pay it back.
We look for 3 things really: motivation, aptitude, and attitude. When I say motivation, this person is really motivated to do something and better their lives, and that's that comes from within. But also the other parts that come from within is the aptitude. I want to go and figure out stuff. Something's been wrong, or I've been wrong before, or whatever. But they want to be able to figure out stuff, and they have this kind of I would want to say the stick-to-itiveness of problem solving. If they have some coding experience in the past, where they've done some basic, or they've done some programming, or they've done some software development many years ago and they want to get back into it, that's also another point. But there also have been students who've come into our program who have very little to no experience, but they have the attitude, the aptitude, and the motivation to really learn it.
When they complete the program, they'll have a working portfolio, what we call it, which is basically they'll have a bunch of projects that they've completed, which are web applications, which is actual code that employers can see kind of how they work, what their knowledge is, what their foundation is, the quality of work that they've been doing. And we also have what we call our employer network.
We think that it was very important to build up a DevLeague employer partner network. And so we have 28 companies at this point in time in our network, and we're actively looking for more. On the top of our list, we have Google and we have Uber. We have a raft of other companies that are here locally. It is a $10,000 for 12 weeks or $10,000 for the 26-week part-time program. We recognize that it is, it's challenging for people to put down that type of amount of money. But I do want to point out to you that it is about 1 year's worth of University of Hawaii's tuition. half of what it would be at HPU's tuition, almost half of what it would be at Chaminade as well. And those are very fine institutions that are take anywhere between 4 and 5 years.
The companies don't want to wait 4 or 5 years for and then have to train people on top of that for really the technologies and the platforms that they use. So we're kind of shortcutting that.
We do have some tuition assistance programs here. We do work with Oahu WorkLinks, which is a city and county program where they help people who are in a situation where they're unemployed, long-term unemployed, or underemployed. Anyone who qualifies for the program. On the tail end of it, there's another program called on-the-job training, which is also very interesting because there's an employer benefit. And what they do is, if you get employed by a company after they graduate, there may be a 50% to a 90% salary benefit that the federal government, through the city, will pay to that employer. We have another tuition assistance program called the Upstart.com program. That's a mainland company. It's all ex-Googlers. And what that program does is, instead of funding companies, they're going ahead and funding individuals. So you apply for the program, they make an assessment, and essentially they will front you the money for it, and then you pay it over a 5 and 10-year program. And then of course Jason and I recognize that $10,000 is still a lot of money, and what we do is we're putting together a tuition payment plan. We've also announced a junior DevLeague course called My Minecraft, and that's on June 2nd and June 6th, in that gap where between after they finish school and then before they start summer school. Essentially what we're going to do is teach kids how to version up or level up their Minecraft playing. It's a one-week workshop, but it's really for children, that are keiki, to get exposure to computer programming in a game that they totally love. End of the day, I cannot wait till Mondays to come in because it's super, super exciting. And Jason and I get to build and work with people like the people sitting next to us here in terms of our cohort. And if we can make an impact on their lives, that's priceless for us.